Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got a really exciting 4K review to do for you. We're going to check out the new Arrow video release of Tremors, this limited edition 4K Blu-ray box set. I'm really excited to dive into and tell you guys all about it, so stay tuned for this review. So like I said, today in from Arrow Video, we've got Tremors. This is another 4K Blu-ray release from Arrow and another partnership with Universal, which is really interesting. That's something to keep an eye on. They seem to be getting the rights to Universal movies, maybe stuff that Universal can't do themselves, and putting out these 4K restorations. So that's good news that they have access to that Universal catalog. So Tremors is 30 years old. This is the 30th anniversary, believe it or not. And it kind of was like a resurgence in monster movies. It kind of brought back that kind of B-movie cheesiness that you hadn't seen since, maybe the 50s and 60s. So it was actually a kind of a cult hit. And now it's spawned so many sequels. One just came out last year. So it's become sort of a sci-fi cheesy movie franchise. But the original Tremors is definitely a fan favorite. And Arrow has done a new 4K restoration here from the original 35mm negative. They've restored the theatrical sound and added some new audio tracks. And they've loaded this with bonus features and special additions to the limited edition box set. So really exciting stuff. We're going to talk about the video, the audio, go through all the packaging and special features, and I'll give you a recommendation on whether this is worth picking up. So to start, let's talk about the video. And as I said, this is a new 4K restoration supervised by the team at Arrow, as well as the director Ron Underwood and the director of photography. So you've got everybody involved with this who has a really good idea of how they want this movie to look, how they want this 4K transfer to look, and it really does look incredible. So this release is pretty grain heavy, I will say, which makes sense. 35mm negative, 30 years old, so not on the ancient side of things, but definitely an older release, older movie shot on film. It's not Vertigo, it's not something from the 40s, 50s, 60s, but it has a lot of grain, and that is true to the source. And so I think that, again, this film community and the 4K community is very weird about that. There's some people who are like, do not give me grain. I don't want it, even though that's how it should look. And then there's other people, more like myself, who are like, I want that natural film look. And you definitely get that here. It's grain heavy. There are some sequences where it really stands out, but it's supposed to. Remember, it's shot on film. It's 35mm, and this is a vast improvement over anything that's come out before on home video. So this is the best it's ever looked with that grain structure. It's very detailed. It's solid. It is super fine around the edges. Like, you can really make out all the structure of the picture, but we're not really seeing any of like DNR at all, and there's no sort of edge enhancement or softness in this. This is pretty true as if you were watching a 35mm film reel of Tremors. Now, it's also presented with Dolby Vision, and it is HDR10 compatible. Arrow did a nice job with the Dolby Vision again. I thought that HDR and especially the Dolby Vision was a major leap over previous iterations of this. And even the HDR10 really gives it a little bit of an extra pop. It is a movie that can certainly use that. It's not the most colorful movie in the world, but it has a lot of those yellows, oranges, whites, bright colors. And then in the darker sequences, this is where, even though the grain is pretty heavy, the darker the picture gets, which makes sense, it's more visible. The HDR really helps with black levels and grays, and really helps balance that out and gives you some real nice deep blacks. So the picture looks much better in those scenes. Now, for me personally, this is a great picture. I love the grain. I love the HDR. Everything about it really pops, and Arrow's done another great job. This is a great follow-up to Pitch Black. This is an excellent follow-up to Flash Gordon. They are doing really, really good work on their 4K restorations, and it's exciting to see what else they can do, considering they seem to have some sort of access to Universal and some deal with them to release movies like Pitch Black and Tremors now. It would be interesting to see what else they can pull out of that catalog, and maybe they can start working with, say, a studio like Disney and Fox, who are one and the same, and take some of those older Fox movies that Disney doesn't really want to put out on physical media and do some great 4K restorations. But based on the way they've done Tremors and their past releases, Arrow Video is leading the pack when it comes to boutique distributors in 4K Blu-ray picture quality. Now for audio, you've got three options. You've got the original 2.0 DTS HD. That's the original theatrical mix. That's what you would have heard in the theaters 30 years ago. Then you've got a 4.0 mix, and you've got a DTS HD 5.1. So I played around. I don't really understand the 4.0. I never really understand those. I guess if you don't have a subwoofer and you've just got some speakers, 4.0 is certainly probably better than 2.0. It may work better with certain sound bars. I don't really understand it, but I play with the 2.0 and the 5.1 for the most part. And the 5.1 definitely is the one I'd recommend. They did a nice job mixing this. It's pretty faithful to the source. But adding in that subwoofer, adding in the lower bass track, making use of the subwoofer versus just your two front speakers, that adds a little bit more boom, and I appreciate that. And it's also a better spread sound. The mix is better for a movie like this, spread across 5 different channels than 2. I feel like I could experience a little bit more of the audio. I was really hearing some of that surround that you don't get from a 2.0 track. So I would recommend the 5.1. If you're a traditional, if you want it to be as pure as possible, the 2.0 is the restored theatrical, and then you do have the 4.0 option. So 3 different options, really nice to just have those options. But I'd go with the 5.1. It's a nice track, dialogue's very clear, and there's plenty of surround action, and that added subwoofer bass track really does help some of the low frequency stuff. It's not a booming mix that's going to make your house shake, but it adds a little bit of pop over something that is like a 2.0 without that. So now packaging, you've seen this. This is the box set that you get. It is typical Arrow Video, very high quality. It's cardboard, but it's quality stuff. Here's your spine, here's your back. So there is a card attached to the back that I took off. So Arrow always really high quality. They don't use cheap flimsy cardboard or like almost plastic like material. They always do a great job. I love their box sets, some of the best. And then here's your disc right here, same artwork. On the inside you've got your 4K disc, and then you've got your bonus disc on the Blu-ray. This also comes with some cool extras on the inside that I'll show you here. There's a little like coupon for Walter Chang's Market. That's kind of funny. And then it has some postcards here from the set. We've got different pictures on each of these. So just some cool, behind the scenes type stuff. So they always load it with little extras like that. If you're a fan of the movie, just getting this little coupon, these little postcards, it's like little call outs to the movie itself, and it's just cool to have as part of the package. Now, along with that, you also get this awesome booklet. It's about 59 pages right here. Typical Arrow Video stuff. It is a huge booklet full of essays, and it has about the restoration, essays from film critics and scholars. It talks about the history of the movie. It talks about the cast. It has lots of great, like press photos in it. It has the original press kit. So much stuff loaded into that 60-page booklet. I mean, that's Criterion level stuff, right? And then you've also got this really cool mini poster. So City of Perfection you've got here, and then you've got the American graboid sort of like anatomy structure. So that's really cool. Love that. And then per usual with Arrow Videos limited editions, you do get a double-sided poster. So one side is the original artwork, and then the other side is the new Arrow Video artwork. So that's super nice. It always is so cool to get these Arrow limited editions because they go all out. Like Arrow Video does such a nice job with the posters and the booklets, and everything you could really, ask for as a fan is a part of this set. So that's what's in the box. Now let's talk about what's on the disc for special features. So no digital copy here, just the 4K copy. There is not a Blu-ray included in this. So you've got a 4K disc and then a Blu-ray disc, but the Blu-ray disc is only special features. Now the 4K disc is loaded loaded with special features in 4K. I'll read off a few of them to you. But you've got audio commentaries on there. You've got the unofficial guide to Tremors, Making Perfection, which is a brand new documentary by Universal interviewing the cast and crew. The Truth About Tremors, a newly filmed interview with the co-producers. Bad Vibrations with the director of photography, Digging in the Dirt with the film's visual effects team. The behind the scenes on the music, overdubs for the television version. There's a whole featurette on how they did that and overdubbing, swear words and things like that. The Making of Tremors, documentary from 1995. Creature featurette, archive compilation of on-set camcorder footage featuring the making of the Graboids. The electronic press kit, deleted scenes, the original opening scene, theatrical trailers, TV spots. I mean, it's huge. And a huge image gallery with stills and behind the scenes storyboards. That's all just on the 4K disc. And then you get to the Blu-ray disc, which is a limited edition exclusive. So Arrow puts out these limited editions. They're usually numbered to something like 10,000, 20,000 copies. And then they'll put out just a standalone release. The standalone release won't have this extra Blu-ray. It won't have posters. It'll just be the packaging with the 4K disc. But if you buy this limited edition, you get that extra Blu-ray disc, which has hour-long interviews with Ron Underwood, Brent Maddock, S.S. Wilson, Nancy Roberts, the creature designer, Alec Gillis. It has outtakes with commentary by S.S. Wilson. It has 3 early short films from the makers of Tremors, which were remastered in high definition. And it includes S.S. Wilson. He was the writer, producer of this. His stop-motion horror comedy classic, Recorded Live from 1975. So you're getting like extra short films, extra interviews, all this stuff that is, it's exclusive to this set. So if you wait, you can just buy this. This would be a little bit cheaper. It'll just come like this, but you won't get all those extras. You won't get all the bonuses in the Blu-ray. You won't get this box set packaging. You won't get posters. You won't get a booklet. It'll be very bare bones. So you have a couple options, but I highly, recommend this limited edition set if you're at all a fan of the series. So overall, as you can probably tell, this comes highly, highly recommended. It's an excellent 4K video with Dolby Vision, really nice 5.1 DTS soundtrack, and just the amount of bonus features and the limited edition extras, the posters, the booklet, the postcards, the little handouts, everything that comes with this. If you're a fan of this movie and of this franchise, this is a must-have. This is the greatest Tremors home video release that there's ever been. Arrow did an incredible job. The whole team did an incredible job on the restoration, fully restoring picture, fully restoring audio, adding so many special features to the 4K disc. This is a super quality release, and if I didn't just get it in late, this would easily have made my list of best releases of 2020 on physical media. This is excellent. Tremors is a must-have if you're a fan of the movie, and if you at all have considered watching it or you just like collecting Arrow video limited editions, you won't be disappointed with this at all. So I'll leave a link to this down in the description where you can pick that up on Amazon. That helps support my channel, but remember, check your local video stores as well. They may have good deals on things like Arrow video titles from time to time, so check them out. But if you are interested, you can order this on Amazon, link down in the description. But otherwise, just thank you for watching this review. Sorry it's been a few days since the last video. It's Christmas holiday times. It's been kind of busy. Work's been crazy, life's been crazy, as you guys can probably imagine. There's a lot going on right now, so I will be back. I'll have some more videos coming in the next few days. I've got collection updates, more 4K reviews to do, including one from Arrow Video, Cinema Paradiso, and I've got a lot of stuff to get through. So make sure you're subscribed, have your notifications on so you know when I post things. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. Follow me on Instagram to stay up to date on everything else that's going on in my life. And I really appreciate you all watching, like I said, and it's been a great 2020. So stay safe out there. Hope you have a great holiday. If you don't watch any videos between now and then, have a great holiday. Have a great new year, and I'll talk to you guys soon.